All right, good afternoon. So it's Sunday, the 31st of March. Jeez, where has time gone? Doesn't even feel like the end of March already. So doing something a little different down here in the grow room today. So spring is upon us, and pretty quick we will be out and planting our traditional soil garden in the backyard. So in preparation for that, I have sat down and figured out kind of what we're going to grow this year. We worked with the kids to decide what they wanted to grow versus what we needed to grow. And tried to get our seeds together. So kind of the plan for this year out there is we are going to be doing spaghetti squash. We've typically done some sort of squash, whether it be an acorn squash or something like that, but this year we're going to try spaghetti squash. Samantha really likes it, so we're going to give it a shot. From there, we're going to do beets again this year. We've done beets in the past. We usually pickle them and can them, but we're gonna, again this year we'll do some beets. Some sugar snap peas. So we really like those. We can freeze them as well as just eating them raw. So we will be planting those again. I've got some really tall trellises that I use, so we'll be doing that. Bell peppers, we use a lot of bell peppers, so we'll be planting quite a few of those as well. The kids have found a liking for Brussels sprouts. I kind of jokingly one day when we were at the grocery store said, "Hey, let's have Brussels sprouts," and they're like, "Yeah, let's try them." And how they like them. Hey, I'm not complaining. So we've decided we're going to try to grow them. So I've got Brussels sprouts to grow this year, something new. And then beans. So green beans. We grow typically quite a few green beans, and we pick them and can them. Now the issue with the green beans is I get tired and Samantha gets tired of bending over and picking them. So we're trying something new this year. We're going to try pole beans. I typically raise my own bean seed. I buy bean seed and then I'll save beans back, let them dry for my own seed. And then have seed for a few years. I am out of seed this year, so I have to buy seed. So it was a good time to try something new. So still doing green beans, but gonna go to a climbing pole bean variety. Maybe that'll save our backs from having to bend over and pick so much. So will be more work as far as setting up the trellises and taking down the trellises at the end of the year, but yeah, we'll give it a try. So there's kind of what we're gonna be doing. So from there, we want to start some seeds ahead of time. Bell peppers need to be started ahead of time. I usually like to start the squash ahead of time as well. And I'm thinking maybe the Brussels sprouts will get started, but I don't know if I want to start them this early. I don't know. I'm debating on that one. But anyways, so I'm basically going to be taking over part of the microgreen area, and here's what I'm going to do. So I picked up some packages of Jiffy pots. These are peat pots. These are the 3-inch. I think they're 3-inch variety. And so they're kind of a pressed peat. The nice thing about these is they do degrade. So that's what I'm working with. So I'm gonna get to work and start filling some of these. So I've got one of the microgreen trays sitting up here on a shelf next to me, and I'm just using the same soil as our microgreens. This is that Pro Mix. So basically, I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna fill pots. And set them into the microgreen tray and keep going. I do pack these in just a little bit. I want to get the kind of any big air pockets out of them that may miss, but there we go. All right, well, I'm going to keep going on this, and we'll let you skip ahead. So check back in with you in a minute. All right, so I've got 3 dozen, 36 pots filled. I've got 18 here, and then I've got another tray of 18. So what I have decided is I'm going to plant 2 different varieties of bell peppers tonight, and then I'm also going to plant the spaghetti squash. So I'm going to plant a dozen of each. So what I've done is I've taken I'm going to turn this tray around and show you. I've taken a white chalk marker and I've written on here. So I've abbreviated, and I do have a line there, so that kind of shows me. So I've got 12 in here of spaghetti squash, or SS, and then I've got a line, and I've got 6 in here of big red bell peppers. Then in the other one, I've got 6 big red bell peppers. And then I've got a dozen of California Wonder peppers. And I'm going to have to get some more pots, I think, for the Brussels sprouts, but I don't have those. So this is what we're going to stop with for now. To start with here, I'm going to do my dozen of spaghetti squash. So, planting depth says 1 inch. These I picked. These are Burpee seed. I picked them up just from Walmart. I did also put an order in to Burpee for the remaining seed, but these I just picked up locally. So. Planting depth says 1 inch, so I'm just going to take, just using a popsicle stick, wooden popsicle stick here. So I'm just kind of open up a hole in the middle. And what I like to do is I put 2 seeds per pot in. So we'll cover that one up. Except then I went and dropped them. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep on. Now I've got the spaghetti squash done. I'm gonna keep on with the peppers and get the rest of the trays planted. So, alright, so I've got everything planted here. So spaghetti squash, big red, and California Wonder. So now all of this soil is dry, so I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to grab my misting hose, which for the microgreens for seed germination, And I'm going to top water all of these to let them, and I don't want to do a lot, but I just want to get the tops moist. And they'll take quite a bit to soak in, but I'll get all these tops moistened. Then secondly, what I'm going to do is I'll grab my one that doesn't have anything on it, so that I can just put some water in the bottom of the tray. And I'll just kind of watch here. I'm going to fill up basically the whole bottom of the tray and get probably a ½ an inch or so down there. This is going to allow all of these peat pots to start soaking up from the bottom. There. So I've got water all throughout the whole bottom. So I'm going to go through and do that to all of these. Then lastly, I will take and put a cover over them just to keep them blacked out, keep that humidity up for the germination. Basically the same thing like I do for the microgreens in that respect. So that's what I'll do, and I think that's it for tonight then. I'll just keep an eye on them, monitor them morning and night. Again, just pretty much like I do with microgreens. And the one difference though is as soon as I get a good germination and get them up where I'm going to start putting light on them, these lights will be lowered way down. I do not want these to stretch. I want these to get a good growth on them, slow growth, and not just stretched out. So basically they'll be in the light respect, they'll be just like the hydroponic system where we keep the lights down and slowly raise them. So well, I think that's it for tonight, so take care. We'll check in with you later.